Yeah, it's nice.
All your game plan to get to the rim?
We got some points inside. Disappointed with our physicality on the boards and physicality posting up. We're going to have to do a lot better job there. We're a big team, so we got to get the ball inside, but I just didn't like, the positioning. We caught it in a lot of time, and again, our physicality's got to improve, and especially on the boards.
Peyton, pretty aggressive in terms of him, especially that first half. He was kind of getting.
Well, yeah, we had to have somebody handle the ball. We didn't have a lot of guys, helping him out there with ball handling. They just kind of ran away from it. We haven't seen press much. We haven't been pressing as much in practice as we usually do, so I don't think we were quite ready for it. But, we've got to do a better job of executing, and freshmen got to want the ball and bend their knees and be a little bit more aggressive when they get it. I thought he handled it good. He had to handle it quite a bit there that first half. Just he and Paul, had the ball in their hands most of the time.
Peyton said for young teams, it's hard for guys to kind of figure out their roles and accept it. Does that kind of fall in line of maybe just reverting, hey, a veteran guy will handle the ball? And
yeah, we're so far away from establishing those roles, that it's really hard. We don't know what everybody can do, and their consistency in practice hasn't been great, so it's been hard to really determine. Some of our older guys have been a little bit more consistent than our newer guys, but we got to get better in practice. And I didn't like our practice yesterday, and we've just got to do a better job every day in practice, getting better.
This isn't necessarily indicative of anything that happened tonight, but do you imagine there's going to be a bit of a learning curve on how fouls are called on Bowl throughout the season, just because of how?
Well, he got it cheap when they're the first one. He missed the lob and got frustrated and just swiped at the guy. Those are the ones he's got to avoid. Because he's going to get some posting up, and with his length and that, he's an unusual guy to officiate. So, he's going to get a couple here and there that are awkward fouls for him. But the ones he's got to avoid was that first one. That got him in trouble. So then he had two quick ones, and he gets his third one right away to start the second half. And we were still in the game, so I wasn't like I could just leave him out there. So he's going to have to learn to play differently and not pick up fouls in the backcourt like he did. But there will be. He's an unusual player, and it'll take a while for everybody to adjust.
Speaking of Bowl, him and Kenny both had big defensive games, 5 for 6 blocks. Do you see them both being able to kind of put together those kind of defensive numbers, as the season progresses consistently?
Well, if we don't guard the ball any better, they'll have plenty of opportunities. They got by us, their quickness, and they got to the rim a number of times. So. I'd like to see him get a few less opportunities, but they're good. Kenny's he's got amazing jumping ability, and his timing is improving. Bowl is long, and if he gets a little bit more aggressive with he's going to put up some amazing shot blocking numbers. So those two guys are unique. Francis can get some. Paul is able back there. So. Again, we've got to do a better job of fighting the dribble, but I thought we did a really good job of contesting threes. I thought we were out there and pretty active on the perimeter, and they kept backing up, trying deeper ones. But I thought our zone did a pretty good job of locating shooters.
Francis pretty much what you expected coming in, or is he kind of exceeding some of your expectations?
Well, he's a hard worker in practice, and so we've seen growth there in practice. And he is the one guy who's physical. The guy that could be in high school. I'd hate to be a freshman or sophomore in high school trying to go against him. His physicality is pretty good, but no, he's worked awfully hard in practice, and I'm glad to see him making strides, because again, we need his physicality.
Will got to play in the game. Was that a surprise, and how do you feel like?
Well, the doctor released him yesterday for a few minutes of practice and released him for, he said no more than 10 minutes tonight. Try to get him a few minutes each half. I think we played him a couple minutes the first half and 5 or 6 the second. Was kind of our plan, and so I thought he relaxed. He just he's missed 17, 18 days here, so he's been out a while. I didn't want to do much. We'll keep him off of it tomorrow and let him practice a little bit on Thursday, and try to play him 10 to 12, 13 minutes on Friday.
Seems like 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems like that could be a big help for you guys, just giving Peyton a quick breather.
Oh, without doubt, you saw just the savvy he has with the ball, just a little indication. He was practicing really good. I felt really bad for him because he was doing really good in practice and making such good strides, and then having to sit out the last 2.5, 3 weeks, kind of stunted that growth that he showed. But his basketball savvy and his work ethic, he's going to be a really good player for us. I really believe he's, if he just get a little bit more physical like all our players and just a little bit meaner, I think he's got a chance to, his basketball instincts and getting the ball out of his hands, and he's shooting it better. He's really made some progress.
What's the scouting report going into Friday against Eastern Washington? You guys
I have no idea. We'll start looking at them tomorrow, and so I haven't taken a look at them yet. We got a couple days here to get ready. I'm sure one of the assistants has started. I can't remember who got assigned that game, but somebody's got started on it, and I'll start tomorrow. So.
Did you see the Duke score?
I heard they beat him bad. I didn't see what it was.
It was like the worst loss Calipari's ever had in his career. Just curious when an early season game like that happens, if other coaches kind of take stock or.
It's November 6th. Yeah. They'll be disappointed. It's a national game. If they got beat that bad, they'll be really disappointed. But they'll turn it up in practice, and every now and then. A team gets that wake-up call, and some teams, they don't need to lose games to get the wake-up call. Some teams, they got to get popped a couple times before it sinks in, and every team's different, and that's where leadership comes in, and that's where, learning from winning. Learning from losing is easier than winning from, or learning from winning. After a loss, everybody pays more attention to the film. Everybody, takes criticism a lot better. When you win, everybody, what are you on me for? We won. But it takes a real disciplined player, somebody who wants to get better, to take a lot of criticism after a win and really focus in on it and try to get better. So I'm sure Calipari will have their attention, when they watch film, and there'll be a couple knockdown, drag out practices, and I don't know who they play next, but they better strap it on, because after a game like that, if you're a competitive team, that next game, they'll bring it hard.
I feel like, talk about the competitiveness. Bull got that blocker in the midway through the game, and then Boot dove on the ball and tied it up for the timeout. Got your ball. Seemed like you guys played more physical after that. Yeah,
we didn't get on the floor there the first 10, 12 minutes of the game. I thought they beat us to every loose ball, but and there was that sequence where we got on the floor a little bit. I thought it revved us up a little bit, and like I said, we got to keep working on the zone. We got to get our man better. Like I said, November 6th, we got so much to work on. Practice tomorrow and practice on Thursday. We got to get better, and then we got to be a little better Friday and grow as a team, because Iowa is a very experienced team that we're going to play next Thursday. They got 4 or 5 starters back. They got a lot of people back, and And this time of year, that's, you know, like Peyton and Paul gave us, you know, if we wouldn't have had those two guys handling the ball the first half, you know, I'm not sure we would have got it down the floor. You know, everybody's kind of running away, letting those two guys bring it, you know. So those vets, early on, you kind of got to lean on them.
There was one sequence where Bull was leading the ball up, and I think he tried to pass it and it went off some guy's leg. Is that something, does he ever bring it up in practice? Like
Oh, yeah.
that?
No, hey, his assist to turnover ratio is not bad, you know, and we let guys try things until they prove they can't. And he's done it in practice. And, you know, that time he lowered his base. He tried to make the right play. I thought VJ was open. I remember the play. And, you know, the guy just got a hand on it. But tried to throw a little bounce pass there and tried to get it to VJ. I thought it was the right play. And no, as long as his assist turnover ratio and he proves that he'll make the right decision, you know, he was leading our fast break, and I thought we were going to get a bucket. You know, I thought he'd get it to VJ, and I thought VJ could have scored.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.